I mean, let's rip the Band-Aid off. Can you continue to play him at quarterback?
Me, as if I am coach of Louisville football, after seeing the regression from Miller Moss game after game after game, absolutely not. You're, I feel like you're doing your fan base and any future any future transfers and stuff like that a disservice.
Said it on last week's show. I brought it up with James. I was like, hey, I think it's malpractice if you let Miller Moss cost you this game. And that's exactly what they did, just
Yeah.
being quite blunt. Go ahead and
Yeah.
play the opening footage, though. Welcome on in, welcome on in, welcome on into the Cards Companion. It's your boy Josh this time. Joined by a new guest. James is traveling the world, so I'm with the original Cardinal Companion right now. How you doing today, brother?
Dude, I'm doing good. I would be doing better if we were, not about to talk about what we're about to talk about, but
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Yeah. It's a difficult conversation any way you look at it, because I think there's been a lot of the concerns with this team as the season has gone on, and like they've consistently just gotten like, hey, a little more concerning, hey, a little more concerning, and then like we have this big monster blow up on us on Friday night. This episode's gonna be a little different than most of our episodes, to be honest with you. I think on this episode we're gonna talk more about just kind of the state of things other than the actual Clemson game, because there's really so much we can say about the Clemson game. It wasn't a particularly pretty game to be played on either side.
No, I think there's been, when you talk about both sides of the ball, vast majority of the season, we've essentially relied on defense. It's weird to see a Louisville football team not have that offensive power or
Mm-hmm.
prowess, you might say. And for like legitimately, we've relied on defense. And I feel like the defense is almost, I hate to use the term, but like almost playing down to the offense the last 2 weeks. And I'm going to move past just Clemson. I mean, even, there
Mm-hmm.
was probably half the game against Cal. Like defense was spotty, questionable at best.
I mean,
So,
the argument I will make, though, the defense is still holding teams under 28 points. That's
sure.
winning football. Any way you look at it, that's winning football in
And in
modern college football.
and in any world, if you're holding if you're holding offenses to 28 points or under 28 points, and you have a Jeff Brohm offense at Louisville,
Mhm.
you're winning. Yep. And but this is the world we live in.
Before we get too much into the negativity and the bad stuff, I do want to give two very, very big shout outs. Keyjuan Brown continues. I mean, I think he's running behind you right now as I'm saying this.
Nope.
Keyjuan Brown continues to just be a so welcomed phenomenon that we're saying.
I knew that when he originally ended up, canceling his transfer to Boise, like that will pay dividends. I was like, I don't know how. I don't know the
Mhm.
scenario. I said whether it's just the power back because he is that bruising. I mean, we've seen the truck stick the other night.
Mhm.
I was like, but that will pay out. If you would have told me that he would be busting 50-yard runs as well,
Yeah.
it's beautiful work.
Yeah. And I love the saying, sometimes the best gets in the transfer portal are the ones that you keep, because it feels like that. Um,
Yes.
I think we've talked about Keyjuan now on the show the past like 3 or 4 weeks in a row. And like and you can see it also where like he's getting better as the weeks are going on. And you can see like he's getting that game reps and those experience there to where like he's just on it. I think he's the hottest player on the football team right now, to be honest with you.
No doubt. I mean, he
Yeah.
is that perfect scenario of he got his opportunity. He's
Mhm.
making the best of it and more. Like
Yeah.
at this point in time, I think Keywan's gone from, hey buddy, hope you enjoyed college football to legitimately, getting looks from teams in the future.
Yeah, I mean, like the past 3 weeks he's made himself a lot of money.
Yeah.
His stock instantly increases while he's in college, and he's showing a lot of really good things, for beyond college,
Yeah.
which is awesome.
And not to knock Keywan prior years because like I feel like you'd see little flashes of it occasionally with him,
Mhm.
but it would be like a play a season or a
Yeah,
play every 3 or 4 games,
yeah,
we did get in. So very welcomed, excited
yeah.
to actually Have it.
And then the other guy, he just made a tackle on your screen. Stanquan Clark getting back. Well, the play before. Stanquan Clark, he comes in, it looks like he doesn't miss a beat.
No, he's like,
Yeah, just just right back into it.
like, dude, I was just off for a couple days. No big deal.
Yeah, like I mean,
Well,
just everything moving full throttle. I'll be honest, I thought the defense looked better last night than they had recently, or whatever, a couple nights ago, whatever. Yeah.
yeah. I just feel like there was never don't get me wrong, like they weren't giving up, like we said earlier, if you held them, I do feel like they just weren't, I guess, getting that thumb
Mm-hmm.
in the neck of like Clemson. Like I feel like we'd seen that a lot more earlier in the season where it was
Mm-hmm.
just like we're just throttling teams. Whereas I feel like they were just you're just letting a lot more go recently, and I don't know if that's just there's more footage, there's more tape on it because we're later in the season and they're scheming against the defense better. I'm not sure what it is. I just don't feel like it's at that full because beginning of the season we were talking about it. I mean, this team was smothering.
Yeah, but they were smothering Bowling Greens, and you're playing Clemson's now.
This is
I
fair.
get it. Clemson they have 5 wins. I know Clemson's still the most top 10 talented team in the country from BCR.
Easily.
I mean, and that's just it might be a bad argument to make, but I think given the talent level you're playing, I thought they played phenomenally. They played good enough to win you the game, and I think you can say that every game this year.
There, as much negativity as we're going to go through today, there is one specific reason that we lost that game, and we can hit on that.
All right. Well, I guess let's rip off the Band-Aid before we get into it. Just a couple of little stats and whatnot, like we always do. Clemson wins 20-19. Louisville went into that game. Line was a lot of movement before the game, and it ended up finishing at Louisville 1.5. Does that sound right?
I believe so. I didn't touch it, to be honest.
And then Louisville, they had a 59% chance per FPI to win that game. All Louisville outgained Clemson by 80 yards on offense. Clemson was 1 for 13 on third down. Louisville was 2 of 11. And then Louisville with 10 penalties for 84 yards. Initial thoughts. What's your initial takeaway for this game?
I think you. I hate to say this. I think we got outcoached. I think that's one of the biggest things. I think there was not just outcoached, but poor decision making throughout the game. Whether that be, I do want to say that we harped on, when you have a run game that is effective, run the ball. We did more of that this week. So that at least made me happy, I think. But I feel like that was just old school Dabo just willing a damn victory.
It felt like Dabo was coaching to win and Jeff was coaching not to lose. That's the way I felt.
Yeah.
Just there was a lot of really puzzling things from Jeff. Clock management, which has been an issue all season and is now a very scary recurring theme in his 3-year tenure here. The end of the first half, not taking a timeout with that 40-second runoff. I mean, just quite simply, that's you not trusting your offense in that situation. Along with that, just kind of playing for field position throughout most of the second half. I don't know. It's a weird one. Whereas at least with Dabo, I mean, yeah, Dabo has his issues. That roster has a lot of issues, but at the end of the day, they were still trying to execute their game plan, and they weren't. They were playing to score, and just wasn't happening for us. My personal biggest takeaway, and it's kind of been emblematic of this entire season, it's Miller Moss. I'll be honest, as soon as the game ended, I was frustrated with Miller. I wasn't upset, but I was very frustrated. And then you had the press conference after the game. Then I was upset. If you don't know, if you haven't, Miller Moss after the game, he's asked about what essentially is going wrong with the offense, and he blamed it on the culture of the program, and that's things that need to get fixed in the offseason. And I'm paraphrasing a little bit there because it's a longer quote, but please look into it if you don't trust me for some reason. That sort of mentality can't happen. No. And it would, I'll be completely honest, I agree with Miller. I agree with him. I think it is the proper mindset. I think it's probably pretty true. I think there is a culture issue in the team, and I think a lot of that relies on bringing in a lot of one-year transfers. With that being said, Miller Moss has to have a better head on his shoulders to know to say that in that situation.
100%. I mean, you don't get to be the, you know, quarterback is the glue of an
Yeah,
offense, really
yeah,
the entire. You don't
yeah,
get to be the guy and then go out and not only put down, your team saying that,
mhm,
culture and all this, but you're putting down your coaching staff.
yeah,
You're putting down the entire program as a
yeah,
whole. That's not your place. If anything, that's when, you put a little bit more glue on it. You've got to be more of that person. If it's a culture issue, as far as I'm concerned, that's staff and quarterback.
yeah,
So if you're going
yeah,
to talk culture, that starts at the top.
yep. I
But you're
completely agree.
you're at the top of that.
Yeah,
um, so
and
I don't
it
know if it's him calling the program out as much or if he's calling himself out. I'm not sure. I didn't feel like he was calling himself out, but
No. I just and on top of that, he made some very weird comments after the Virginia Tech game. I can't remember the exact quote, but essentially it was I would love to play here every game. And it was like, what do you mean by that? It's just been a lot of weird energy with it. And then obviously he's been struggling on the field. I mean, he's point blank, he's not good. I mean, you're having conversations now where you're kind of comparing him to I guess, the Puma passes of Louisville quarterback play. And I get it. As Louisville fans, we are inherently very spoiled.
I
In the
I
past
was
25 years, I think we have like 3 seasons of bad quarterback play, realistically speaking.
I was literally so my wife's an Auburn fan and like
Yeah.
she was like, she was like, sometimes you just get a bad quarterback and I was literally kind of sat there and think and I was like, we are so spoiled with quarterback play.
Yeah,
Like
we don't do
majority
that here. Yeah.
my lifetime, majority of the quarterbacks that we've had at Louisville have went to the NFL in some way, shape,
Yeah,
or form.
exactly.
It's insane to think, and like I never really thought about how spoiled we are. But at the end of the day, um, I don't I don't think that Miller Ross could go start for any power program.
I'm sorry, I just did the math. In the past 25 years, you've had 9 quarterbacks play in the NFL in some sort of capacity.
You got to think majority of that time those players were there for
Multi-year
3.
players. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like, it's just I mean, like, and no disrespect, the one thing with Miller Moss, I've gotten so much respect for Jack Plummer in the past 2 months, but even that's a guy there where it's like, hey, he's with the Panthers still. He's just chugging along, man.
hanging man. He's like the epitome of I call him like clipboard holders.
Yeah.
Like he's that guy. Like he has a football IQ. That's probably more than I will ever comprehend. And he's not able to put it on the field, but having that
Mhm.
guy that understands offenses and understands what the defense is doing and having that guy on your sideline, he's perfect for that. That man will be a
Yeah.
coach one day.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, with the Moss situation, QBR the past 4 games has been under 65, which is just atrocious, to say
Wasn't it
the
like
least.
one night, one
It was
game?
tw it was 20 it was like 20.8 2 games ago. It was something just awful. You're legitimately seeing some of the worst quarterback play that I mean, we've seen since 2018. Malik was never this bad. Well, I didn't think Malik was anything great, but he's still an NFL player, you
Malik
know?
was foul enough that now Malik would make one read. If that one read wasn't there, he was
Yeah.
gone. But he was able to do that. Whereas
Yeah.
Miller, he had a crutch to fall back on. Um,
Yeah. But I mean, with Miller, there's so much wrong, and it's not me picking on the kid, but he does so much wrong. He's a one read guy. He's making his read as the ball is being snapped. I mean, you watch the kid, and he's coming up, and he's like just eyeballing his guy. He's snapping it, and it's just I'm like, oh my god, what are we doing? His
and
throwing motion has
realist,
gotten. Oh, sorry.
I was just saying, realistically, you only got 2 guys to eyeball. It's a 50-50 shot.
Yeah. His throwing motion is progressively getting worse. He is losing his spin on the ball. He's tunneling his balls now. We've had constant batted passes from the line of scrimmage in the past
I was
3
gonna say,
weeks.
you've seen that. You've
Yeah,
seen that trajectory just come down, come down, come down.
he's lost all his pocket presence,
Yeah.
and that's the thing. I will say, there's been a lot of gripes about the offensive line this season. They've gotten consistently better.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, you can't block for a guy for 6 seconds.
No,
That's just
this
not a
isn't
thing.
this isn't 2004 football.
Yeah.
You're not you're not standing in
It's
the pocket for 7.5 seconds. You don't have Tom Brady's offensive line in New England.
yeah, I mean, it's just it's not that, and, like, I don't the group isn't amazing by any means, but they're also not horrible. It's a middle of the road, power 4 offensive line. Statistically, analytically, that's just what it is, and, I mean, you're doing them no favors.
I know
On top of the oh, sorry.
I was gonna say, I know at the beginning of the season, like, one of our biggest concerns, and I wanted to say we even said this, like, EKU, is the failure on able to, like, pick up adjustments and blitzes in the
Mhm.
defense.
Yeah,
And not only has that gotten worse, I don't think it's being done at all.
I don't either.
I don't
I don't think
think
there's any checkdowns happening.
and I think that's what's playing into making no reads because I don't know what's going on. I'm just gonna pass it to Chris Bell.
Yep.
It's just bam bam.
F it, Chris Bell's open downfield somewhere. The old
Yeah.
Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase,
Well,
throw it in his direction.
sometimes it works.
Yeah.
But sure not.
No. And that's the thing also that we're seeing consistently with, like, this big downslide over the past 3 weeks is Chris Bell isn't getting targets anymore.
Here's the thing, he is plummeting Chris Bell's stock right now.
He is. He is.
Chris built up like I'd actually started to see him finally in that first round talk. Haven't seen that in 2 weeks.
No. No, it's going downhill. It's going downhill. So this is where it gets kind of mean for me, to be quite truthful with you. I do not think Miller should start another game. I don't think he should see the field, if you want my honest opinion.
I don't think that so here I'm a firm believer in I'll say this and I guess there's like a caveat to it. I'm a firm believer in as a coach, as a staff, you have to do everything within your power to put your team in the best possible chance to win a game. If
Mhm.
you're going to tell me that Deuce Adams, 4-star, now was he a sophomore now?
Yeah,
Redshirt freshman.
redshirt freshman, redshirt
Yeah.
freshman.
So he's been on the program for 2 years. He's been in the program longer than Miller Moss. He
Yeah.
knows the playbook. At this point in time, I
He was
long
an
story
early enrollee. He was an early
yeah,
enrollee also. He's been in the program for 2.5 years.
yeah. If you're going to tell me that you, the quarterback whisperer, have had this physically perfect specimen of a quarterback playing in the highest level of high school football for 2.5 years now in your program, and he's not better than what we're seeing on the field, we might need to have other conversations. But
I agree. I agree.
like that scares me, I guess, in the long run, because if this is because I believe Jeff said that we're gonna play the person that gives us the best chance to win. That's like his motto.
That's the
If
whole thing.
if Miller playing like this is our best chance to win, I have bigger concerns. I don't believe
Well,
it
yeah.
is,
Yeah.
but
And here's what really, really concerns me about the situation. You brought up Deuce Adams. I think Deuce Adams is a great prospect. I personally, that's who I would trot out this week against SMU. At the same time, though, Harrison Bailey, he has not progressed. And I mean that as respectfully as possible. We have not seen him progress. And we've seen a lot of Harrison Bailey through spring games, through whatever. We've seen a lot of them. You have another 4-star Mason Mims on your roster. I mean, you just and it keeps going on where it's like you can't sit here and tell me none of these guys are progressing, because if that's true, what is your quarterback coach doing?
that's what I'm saying. That's where
Just being quite truthful.
yeah, that's where my bigger concerns are. I was like, if you're not getting progression now, like I'm a big proponent on like I don't like starting true freshmen. So like I think Mims phenomenal player. I like to get that year, at least a year.
I get that. I get it.
Or that's why like I default to Deuce. And I think we agree on that. But yeah, like if you've got multiple 4-star quarterbacks that played extremely high level football and they're not able, one with multiple years in the program now, and they're not able to put a better performance on than what we've seen this year.
And I'm not saying this as a Louisville fan to do the homerism thing, but it's like specifically Deuce Adams and Mason Mims. Yeah, they're 4-star quarterbacks. These are guys that are highly regarded in Elite 11 circles. Like these are cream of the crop kind of guys. And just being quite honest, they didn't get a 5th star because of their physical attributes or the level that they played in. And it's like, if we're not progressing those guys, I mean, that's the only thing I go down to is what is your quarterback coach doing? And what's really sad to kind of to bring this conversation into something else. I understand you're very limited with Miller Moss right now with your play calling ability, which you could fix, by the way, if you put in another quarterback, theoretically.
It's crazy.
Your play calling's outright bad.
Well, I know we've talked about it, and I sent you a thing the other day, and I forgot who had said it on Twitter, but it was essentially the biggest thing or the worst thing that's going on right now is Jeff Brohm is tailoring the offense to Miller Moss,
Mhm.
and he's getting completely away from Jeff Brohm offense.
Yeah.
It's you don't see big plays. You don't see
Nope.
shots down the field. You don't see a like legitimate like spread off it. It's just 6 yards, 8 yards, blah 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 blah. That's not a Jeff Brohm offense.
No. And what's even more concerning is when you are generating big plays, it is hey Isaac, here's a zone left, break it for 60. Hey Chris, we're gonna hit you on a 5-yard slant. Just go be an athletic freak. Hey Colin, here's a tunnel screen. Go tightrope 40 yards down the field. It's not you scheming that. You know what I mean?
What pains me so much with this is Louisville currently has, I'll say minimum three offensive talents that you might only get like once in a decade. Really
Oh,
four.
100%. Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
throw
no, yeah,
Duke Watson in there.
yeah.
Because I think 90% of Power 5 programs would kill to have Duke Watson.
Oh,
Um,
yes.
yeah. You are squandering that
Mhm.
away so insanely fast. Or not even fast, like it's been squandered. Like that doesn't come around. Like, you might get a running back like Isaac Brown once every 10 years.
Well, I mean, it's like Chris Bell's legitimately the best prospect since Devontae Parker
Yeah.
at a wideout.
And
And
yeah.
you can make the argument he's better than Devontae based off but based off the level of competition
Yes.
and
I get
who's
what you're
throwing the
saying.
football and who's throwing
I
the
get
football. I think you could. And it's
I
like
get
Colin Lacey, he's up there. I'm not saying he's not in that realm, but he's up there.
he reminds me more like a tutu at will.
Yeah, he's gonna play in the NFL. He's gonna have a
Yeah.
nice long NFL career doing something
Yep. God,
because
dude.
teams will find a way to use him.
Now that you got me like thinking, because whenever you brought competition up, I'm like, God, Teddy Bridgewater in the backfield right now.
Oh, I mean, we'd be top 5 in the country. We'd probably be the 3rd ranked team in the country right now.
Still hanging 50 out people.
Yeah, I mean it would, whatever. So to bring it all around, and we will talk a little SMU, and we'll talk a little bit more about Clemson, but I feel like it's a very volatile time for U of L, if you want my honest opinion. And it's been a whirlwind of 3 weeks because 3 weeks ago, there was a lot of credible reports that, hey, Jeff's going to Penn State, to the point where we had, yeah, we had the whole moving truck and the South End situation, moving truck gate jump off. We all thought he was. Genuinely, me personally, I thought he was gone. Not because of the moving truck, but I thought he was gone.
The moving truck was wild.
We're gonna tell stories about that 10 years from now.
I've seen that. No, like I don't think I took a breath for like 10 seconds.
It's like, well, I was like, there's no way they're this blatant.
Well, it's like when you have the rumors, and then all of a sudden this picture gets posted of a legitimate Penn State semi in downtown Louisville. I mean, that's the wild.
I was like, dude, if they're this blatant, this is going to be talked about in college football for like 20 years.
That was like we walked into your city, took your coach, and walked out.
Yeah. So 3 weeks ago, I think it was a very common thought process that, hey, Jeff might be on the move. Who knows? Around the same time, there's been a lot of heat on a Jeff Brohm contract extension, which is one that he does not need, might I add, for his deal. He has 3 more years on his deal. Along with that, it's not just money for Jeff, also in a contract extension. They'd also talk about increased nil for the program, increased coaching staff salaries. There's a lot more than just how much Jeff makes. In that 3-week period, things have not looked very good at all. I don't think that Jeff is really in any sort of consideration right now for Penn State anymore. I mean, I'll be honest with you, college football, it's a one-game business. And if you've watched college football this year and you've seen what happened in LSU, you've seen what happened at Florida, you've seen Virginia Tech, UCLA, like it is a one-game business.
I mean, Texas, from what I've understood, like Texas boosters are now like
the whole thing with Sark.
Yeah,
that's a all around the South topic. I mean, yeah, Sark is not Sark's gonna have to get himself an offensive coordinator this year. Do you still extend Jeff Brohm if no one's coming after him?
This is where I'm like so on the fence. I think it's gonna take like an act of God to actually rip Jeff Brohm away from Louisville. I know we've talked about it at this point. Even if Louisville didn't want Jeff Brohm, like he would stay out of spite.
Essentially, yeah, yeah.
But not really. But I think it would literally take an act of God.
I mean, this is the man that when he was a current coach at Purdue went on 93.9 and physically cried explaining to people why he couldn't take the Louisville job after being at Purdue for 1 year.
Yeah.
That's the
So like
man
I
we're
don't.
talking about.
But on the same note, um, I don't think that I don't know. I go back and forth because you've had 2 pretty damn successful years. I mean, yes, there were some mishaps along the way.
Better than average.
Yes.
I
Well,
would say
the
better than
championship
average.
game, ACC championship game.
You should have won that. You were playing against their third string quarterback.
That was probably one of the worst offensive showings I've ever seen in my life. Granted,
Now,
down a
granted,
running back.
Jordan Verse, that Florida State defense, phenomenal defense.
Yes.
Old Jack Plummer can only do so much.
Jack, no one to throw that game. It was raining like a fucking insane.
Yeah.
Like, yes. Last year, I think you were literally like 3 play calls away or 3 different plays away from, or better officiating from, like an undefeated season.
And to give a lot of grace to Louisville last year, you played 3 college football playoff teams, and you played the second to left out college football playoff team, the 14 team.
And you lost by less than a score every game.
Well, that's the thing. Louisville, the last time they've lost a game by more than a 1 touchdown was the ACC championship game.
So I go on that. Like you've had, I'm going to say successful seasons, in my opinion.
Okay. Yeah.
I think last year was much more successful than what paper shows. Just because of what you just said. You played, a third of college football playoff teams or playoff teams essentially. But then you add in this year because it's not just play call issues and concerns I have and how we're playing, but if this is the quarterback you scouted and we gave a ton of money to come play here, so like that's where it is, and I don't think that's necessarily like something that's going to happen every year. It's not a concern I have by any means, but when that's part of your sample size of a very short sample size, that's where I have concerns. So long story short, do you talk extensions? I think you say, let's revisit this next year.
The way that where I'm sitting, I'm not saying to fire Jeff Brohm. Do not take that as the main takeaway from this. No one in their right mind is to say that right now.
This is not a Satterfield. We're not extending.
Yeah, this is not that conversation. He has multiple years left on his deal. I would simply tell Jeff, if you absolutely have to have an extension for some reason this season, we will give you a slight pay increase on your salary because he is very underpaid.
He is.
I would not extend him past $8 million a year, though. I would offer him a lot of incentives. Hey, you get X amount more. You get automatic kickers for ACC championship games appearances, ACC titles, Heck, even throw him a few recruiting things. You get X amount extra each year for each 5-star you sign. Because that's a thing that coaches are doing. Along with that, give him whatever he's asking for NIL. I think that is that is not a Jeff Brohm thing. That is a health of the program thing, and it needs to be more competitive. Same thing for the staff salary pools.
Did you see Dan made a post the other day? It was essentially comparing the top 25 teams to the top 25 NIL spenders.
I'm sure it's pretty similar.
There was one team that was not on, that was in the top 25 that wasn't a top 25 spender. The rest were.
Well, what about us?
I don't.
We're not in the top 25. Or I guess it was at the last rankings.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Then. Okay, yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Okay.
But I was like, oh.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the NIL, it's essentially showing out in data that, yes, you do have to spend that to win.
Well, and it's the truth, For example, realistically, looking at college football today, I'm looking at the game behind you. You have Pittsburgh and you have Notre Dame. I look at Notre Dame, I see a $27 million roster. I look at Pittsburgh, I see a $10 million roster, and it shows on the field.
Yeah.
And those aren't actual numbers. I'm just estimations,
Probably not far off.
Educated guesses is what I'm gonna chalk that up to.
Yep.
And that's a realistic thing, and that's one thing, like, I will say I wouldn't fight him on NIL, wouldn't fight him on staff pools, like, that is stuff that you just need for the health of the program. That's not a Jeff Brohm specific thing. If you go out and hire a new coach, you're gonna have to do the same thing. But I would really lean towards a very incentivized based salary.
And here's the thing, I don't know Jeff Brohm personally, but I know quite a few people that do, and every time, everything I've ever gotten from him, I think he would almost prefer bigger incentive stuff like that because I feel like everything I've heard about him is it's like a earned not given
Yeah,
kind of mentality.
he's a South End guy.
He Yeah,
South
dude,
End
like,
guy.
"All right, cool. I'll go earn that, half a mil
Yeah,
by winning,
yeah,
your championship or whatever. Don't
yeah,
give it to me.
yeah.
Don't give me an extra half a mil. I'll go earn it."
Now, the one conversation I would be having, though, the coordinators' deals end this year.
Mhm.
I think we can very easily say Ron English has earned a very big extension.
You don't let that man go anywhere
It
because
it took a little
quality
while to yeah,
players are moving up right now.
yes. And he has earned his keep. I know it was a little rough the first 2 years, but you've seen it in real time when we look at the defense. They've built in the transfer portal through underrated G5 and FCS guys with multiple years of eligibility. Like,
I
I don't think you
we're
see
gonna
a drop off at all next season
No, I
because
think it's gonna continue to get better.
they have the system in place and they have the guys, and he's not paid well. Point blank, he's paid under $1 million. He needs to be up there.
It's under 1,000,000.
Yep, he needs to be up there, and I think that's very fair. He's proved it. They have a top
He's earned his
15
money.
defense. Yeah, the offensive coordinator position though, and I know it's a hard topic because the guy's last name. And for everything we said about Jeff Brohm, you can say the same thing about Brian. There's a reason, though, when we look at analytics and we look at statistical values, Jeff Brohm's offenses have performed better without Brian Brohm as the offensive coordinator. And a lot of these clock management situations, that kind of stuff, that didn't happen when other people were Jeff's offensive coordinator. I don't know if that was a Ty Helton stepping in and saying, "Hey, we need to take time out. Trust me here."
Yeah.
I don't know what that was. I think you do start to look for a new offensive coordinator, though. And I'm not saying that Jeff needs to give up play calling. I'm not at that point. This isn't a Sark situation, but it needs to at least just be talked about having an independent additional set of eyes in the room.
I like someone in the room that can challenge you a little bit. I
Mhm.
need a little bit of feedback, at least, and that's me personally. But just coming from careers that I've been in, like I know that I don't 100% make the right call. So
Yeah,
having someone just at your side being like, what if we did this? What if
yeah.
we did it this way? Just I think that's extremely important, and I don't feel like that's happening.
I don't either, and I don't know the exact. I don't know how that situation exactly plays out. I don't know what it looks like.
Like, yeah,
Yeah, but I lean more on the side of let's try something new. Honestly, I think what would have been best for the program and for everyone involved is if Brian would have gotten the FAU job last year. But I don't know how serious he was about that, to be quite honest, because the people in Boca didn't think he was that serious. Yeah, I did too. And like this might sound weird, but like, man, find a Western Kentucky situation that Jeff Brom found. You know, find an FAU situation that Jeff Brom found. You find something like that. Find a good situation and just go learn. And then you
yep,
know what? In 10 years, we'll hire you as the head coach.
yep. Have a couple
Yeah.
failures. Figure out your coaching style. Figure out how you're going to do the game. Yeah,
I
but
don't see him growing and progressing here how he should be.
if anything, I think you almost see a regression.
Yeah. Uh, and I mean, this is a crazy hiring cycle, but it's who you hire at offensive coordinator does not really matter. And I know that
No,
sounds weird to say.
obviously.
It really, you can go hire Joe Schmo from Tarleton State, and we'll say, yeah, cool, whatever. You
Hell no.
know, yeah. I mean, well, there is this one coach. He was the offensive coordinator this year for an SEC program. It's putting up a whole lot of points. It's not looking like he's going to get that head coaching vacancy. He has some deep family ties to Louisville, owns some property here. I think he's coached with Jeff before. Always ring that old bell. Could you imagine? Could you
The
imagine
city,
that?
city would implode.
I don't
No, I
know how
can't be.
I don't know how Louisville fans would take it.
I'm not even thinking Louisville fans yet. I have to get like I'm a stair step guy. I got to start at the top. I feel like that is way too much ego between two
And
people
I think it would
on
work.
one.
If you want my honest opinion, dude, I think like ego aside,
That
dude,
would be a toxic room to be in. I couldn't do it.
I don't think it would be. I really don't think it would be. I think it's just for like a year or two. You know, he needs to retire. He's got grandkids now. I think they're out in Vegas still. Just let the man get one last go. One last go. That's all I'm asking for.
Chances do you get?
Listen, man,
Oh,
I believe in redemption.
here, dude. I would love we did redemption once. I would love nothing more than what possibilities could come out of that offense because it would
It'd
be
be
disgusting.
it'd be a good unit. It'd be a good unit. It would just, it would be 2006.
Oh, don't
It
say
would be
that.
that
That's my
offense.
favorite.
It would be the 2006 offense. That's literally just the roles are reversed a little bit.
Yeah,
You know,
they're literally completely flipped.
like I mean, I
Oh
mean, just
God.
sign a 5-star running back, 5-star quarterback. Make
I
some
will say
magic,
this.
man.
I'll say this, and I'll say this because I do know, and this is one major reason that I would say yes right now, as if it's up to me. Um, Bobby is a lot more comfortable with mobile quarterbacks, I feel like, than Jeff
Oh
is.
my good, yeah.
And
Lamar changed everything for him.
yeah, he's like, oh,
Yeah.
this is
Well,
possible.
and I don't mean to do this with Bobby Petrino lore dumping here. The original thing with him going to the Falcons, by the way, obviously, yes, it's an NFL job. He had the opportunity to get Michael Vick, and he saw that. And then the entire dog thing happened. I think 2 months after he took the job. But I mean, like it'd be fun. It'd be fun. I'm not
No,
saying that happens at all.
because I feel like Jeff doesn't know what to do with mobile quarterback.
Yeah, I agree.
And because Jeff is that stereotypical stand in the damn pocket, pass the ball. I think he was scared of Tyler Shuck some because
Oh yeah,
whenever Shuck would move a little bit,
yeah.
Shuck was just he was weird athletic, I think. But I think you bring in, and I'm not saying even Bobby. Like I know the odds of that happening are extremely slim, but you bring in an offensive coordinator that a little bit more comfortable or a lot more comfortable with a mobile quarterback.
Hmm.
Um, I think that changes everything about this offense.
Yeah, and that's all I'm asking for. Is just a second set of eyes.
Yep. I'm fine with it.
Continuing though, we'll continue on. Enough about musings. Defensively, what did you really like against Clemson?
Saquon Clark.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, just having him back, that you can't say enough about what just he means on the field. I think what he means to the guys on the field.
Oh yeah.
I feel like that brought a lot of clarity to the team, like,
Hmm.
because that's his defense.
Yeah.
Uh,
The one thing that I really liked personally, me and James were complaining about it, I believe last week, but it looked like the D line was getting very vanilla, like really quickly. And I think the addition of a Stanquan Clark that's able to stunt and do like delayed blitzing very well, that opened up the D line a lot to where the D line can kind of get back to like what we saw those first few weeks. And they looked a lot better against Clemson. And that's a quality offensive line.
yeah. No, it's I think it's better than quality offensive line. I think that's a really, really good offensive line. No, you did. You saw, I feel like, a lot more pressure. You saw Cade having to actually make decisions.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas, with Cal, I think you kind of hit it on the head with Cal. I mean, there was nothing.
It was just straight bull rushing. Get back
Yeah.
there.
Yep. And so, yeah, no, I didn't really think about it, but no, that's 100% true.
Yeah. And then moving on down to special teams.
What I've been waiting
Special
for.
teams play.
Right.
All right, take it away. I want to hear your special teams. What did you think about Louisville's performance on special teams?
I think that if you don't change kickers, I think you win that game. Which I'd say just the statistics of that. It's not even. I think you win that game. I think that is a terrible time to swap kickers.
Mhm.
Not only for the game, but dude, that's hard on kickers.
That yeah,
Um,
yeah.
that's mentally, there's, people poke fun of kickers and special teams players in general. There's a lot of pressure on those guys, like more pressure than most people will ever understand in their life. because of what you just seen this weekend.
Yeah.
So I think that was an absolutely terrible call to switch. I don't think the mistake was on him, anyways.
No,
Like
it was a bad
it
hold.
looked,
It was a bad hold.
yeah, it looked like bad hold, bad snap. But or not great snap, but I think that was a terrible decision. Um, I don't know. It feels weird because we've had such highs with special teams.
Mhm.
Um, especially the past couple years, where and I mean, honestly, this year, like we've got brand new kickers and they're kind of sharing roles, and it was working really well. I mean, God, we're setting records,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then just like that. So I think it's hard to. I'm not going to take anything negative away from special teams because I do feel like that was just an out of character game for them,
Mhm.
which leads me to believe kind of what Miller might have said in his press conference.
Yeah.
But I don't. I think that play or the decision to pull him, terrible decision, um, because they've more than proven themselves this year. But
Yeah.
I'm not going to get scared about it. Like they played great. They kicked great all year. We've actually had some phenomenal punting this year. Not all the time, but
Yeah.
there's been
Yeah.
yeah, not all, but there has been like little glimpses of I'm like, oh, that was a great punt, and or that was great placement.
Mhm.
Um, I feel like it's there. We're not seeing it consistently. Um, but no, kicking wise, I'm just disappointed. I think that was a coaching error.
I agree. I think that that is an error that causes a kicker a lot of long-term, like, mental stress. You know what I mean?
I think
Does
that's
that
up
make
there
sense?
with why. Yeah, no, I think that's up there with why I don't like starting a true freshman quarterback. You can get them to a hole that you might not ever recover them from.
Yeah. So my boy Cody, he writes over to the Crunch Zone. Found him on Twitter at UL Cody. He made a great post about it, and it was essentially, how are we making the decision to change the kickers in that situation, but we're not making a quarterback change situation?
I wasn't gonna say it, but
I mean, well, like we've seen it, like even with Isaac Brown. Isaac Brown fumbled against,
almost lost the
was
game.
it Miami? No, yeah, no,
Yeah,
it was Miami, and he fumbled against Miami. The game after that, he had another fumble, and Jeff sat him for 2 drives. And I don't understand what standards we're holding people to. Because I'll
I
tell
think
you right now, and I'm not telling you that this is happening, that causes discontent in the locker room.
100%.
If people think you're
If
holding
you're
guys to different standards,
And that's it. I mean, that's the exact thing. Like you're changing the entire offensive scheme for this quarterback that's utter shit to make him less shit. But yet you've got a generational talent running back that has, a fumble. Oh my God, he's a human. Shocker. I know that surprises some people that Isaac Brown is
mhm,
actually a human.
he doesn't run
And you're
like
gonna
it.
go bench him?
He runs like
No.
a gazelle.
But you're gonna go bench him after he fumbles when you've got a quarterback that can't even throw over a defensive line.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, no, I get that.
Yeah. With that though, I guess we're gonna put a little bit of a bow on Clemson. Any final thoughts to wrap it up?
No, and just add that to the book of games we should have won.
I think my
So,
big thing is that's a game you should have won, and it's easily avoidable to lose that game. And it's
100%.
ridiculous that you only scored 19 points. That is
Clemson
a
should have never been in there.
no. That is a failure on all systems. When half of their secondary is converted wide receivers, you scored 19 points with a first round draft pick
Yeah.
wide receiver. It's complete coaching failure.
Especially, I mean, what do you want to end up rushing for? 150?
Colin Lacey threw for more touchdowns than Miller Moss, which I love that play call, by the way. I'll tell you right, I love that call.
Oh,
That was a
oh,
great
that's
call.
beautiful.
Good call. Yeah.
That was,
It's not all bad,
no,
but
and that's where I'm like, oh, God, he does still have it. Because sometimes I'm like, dude, is Jeff getting dementia or something? But
yeah.
no, it's still there.
Yeah.
So,
Moving on over, though. Next game on the docket for the Cards. They are traveling to Dallas to play the Southern Methodist University Ponies. That game will be at noon on ESPN2. SMU's got a lot to play for still. They're still in contention for the ACC title game. As of now,
if anything,
FPI is giving SMU a 67.7% chance to win. Currently, SMU is a 3.5-point favorite. What's your thoughts on the Ponies?
you on the ponies, they have everything, like you said, they have everything to play for. They have more to play for with us falling to Clemson. Um, and We've never. Well, what I'm sure we played at SMU at some point in time, way back in the day, but they were.
I don't think we have.
No one on this has ever played at SMU. I'll put it that way.
Okay. Yeah.
That
Okay.
I know.
Yeah.
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 So, and especially team. So I think it's always cool, new environments, things like that. I just, I think if you have play call and quarterback play like what we've had really this whole season, um, I'd take the over on the 3.5.
Yeah. I think with this game, talking a little bit about SMU, we've kind of hit on it a lot all season on all around the South. Their defense is not very good. They have a really bad secondary. So did Clemson. Offensively, Kevin Jennings, he's looked good. He's looked very good this season. He's had a lot of issues with his health, though, specifically. It's kind of led to him being a little less mobile recently. He's been dealing with a high ankle injury, if I'm not mistaken. Their running back room, they're getting Harden going, but Harden, he's a decent back. He's nothing that great. Their skill positions really are somewhat lacking. Offensive line play is fine. It's not great. It's fine. It'll probably be like the 5th or 6th best unit you'll play all season, just being very honest. This is a game matchup wise, you should win.
100%.
You should. You match up well against them, in my opinion. You've done fairly well
You
against
have,
mobile quarterbacks all season.
I feel like, which is wild because that was not what I would
That
have
was
imagined.
complete opposite. Yeah.
Um, no, I think, and the talent. I'm like, we can go back to it. There's a pretty big talent discrepancy. I mean, Kevin Jennings is their guy, whereas we said it earlier in the game or in the show. We have guys.
hmm
So
Yeah. So it's one of those games theoretically you should win, but there is just so much stuff going on right now in Louisville. I said it last week. I'll say it again this week. I think it's complete coaching malpractice if Miller Moss starts the game. He's probably going to start the game, though.
yep.
I have zero faith in this offense right now. I
I
don't
will
know if
praise you
Louisville.
one more.
Okay.
Miller Moss will start the game, and Miller Moss will end the game,
Which is
and
even more
that's even
concerning.
worse.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's even worse.
There's nothing positive I can say about the offense right now, except for Keyjuan Brown.
Keyjuan, yeah, go
But
run your heart out, dog. Go.
You're only going to give him 15 carries.
I don't know how to say this. The only good thing that comes out of Miller Moss playing football like Miller Moss does is it makes Keyjuan look so much better.
Oh yeah,
And like
yeah.
Keyjuan's dog, he's fought for this moment. Go earn you some money, dog.
Yeah.
So
defensively, I think the defense is going to have a good day, and I think this game looks eerily similar to the Clemson game. I really do.
I think the only way we win is we've got to score on defense somehow. Pick six, fumble recovery, something.
Yeah. Or
I
special
think
teams.
that's how we win. But I'll take special teams.
Yeah. Or special teams. Colin Lacey doing Colin Lacey things.
Yeah. You throw me one of each out there.
But me personally, I'm not taking Louisville to win this game. I think Louisville loses probably like I don't even know, like a 17-21 type of a game. I don't think the offense is there right now. I think the offense is regressing. And I think you play Miller all 4 quarters. And I think that the show that we do next week sounds a lot like this one, but there is a lot more loud voices in the fan base about Jeff Brohm because it's getting to that point.
It is, and I will stand on the soapbox of do not want Jeff Brohm fired.
Mm-hmm.
I want Miller Moss fired.
Yeah.
But only one person that can make that decision.
Yeah.
So
just
no, I agree.
I was gonna say,
you Trump.
Yeah. In my opinion, at this point in the season, don't mean this to sound you're not playing for anything. You're playing for the difference in a Gator Bowl and a Mayonnaise Bowl. I would give the reps to the backups and let them develop and see what you got before you get into the portal in December.
More of a reason to not. Why would you not play Deuce?
Yeah. But with that, who's your offensive player of the game for Louisville?
Oh, I mean, it's gonna have to be Keyjuan because you're not gonna have a wide receiver get anything great. It's not gonna be Miller Moss. So I say that and he'll go out and pass for like 450 and 6 touchdowns or something stupid. I highly doubt it. No, it's gonna have to be Keyjuan. Yeah. I think that's the only real option, unfortunately.
I'm actually going with Duke Watson.
Okay, that's fair.
See,
Because I
he's
almost
been
just said running back
yeah,
room.
Duke. He's been in a weird slump since he got back from injury, and I don't know if that's an injury
Yeah.
thing or what it is, but he's been in a slump. Or not Clemson. SMU has shown that they really, really struggle to set the edges. And with Duke being a little bit quicker, I think he's going to be able to get a lot more success on the outside. Whereas like Keyjuan is very good, but he's not as fast as Duke is. And I think Duke could have himself a little bit of a game here where we kind of remind ourselves, oh yeah, this is Duke Watson. This is the guy that I remember. I think he has a pretty good little game. Obviously, Keyjuan will have a good game also. But dog, you just ain't able to throw the ball. It's as simple as that. Defensively, who's your
Well,
guy?
I'm gonna actually. It's so easy to say Stanguan, but I'm not going to. I'm gonna go with Clev.
Clev.
I think he's
Okay.
yeah. I think he's gonna live in the backfield.
Mhm. I like that. I like that. Um, it's a Cards companion show. I got to go with Antonio Watts. I think this is a good game for him. They've shown a lot where they like to use Antonio Watts in these sort of games as a spy, and Antonio does that really, really well. We don't see it super often because we don't see this type of quarterbacks very often, but I think he does really well in that role, and I think he has a pretty good little game. He has a couple tackles for losses, some pass breakups, maybe forces a turnover. It's only, he hasn't done it in 2 weeks. So what the heck, man? I know you've only forced 5 turnovers this
One
year.
could really use one.
Yeah.
Um,
But I mean,
Side note,
I liked, yeah,
I'll just say this just came out. Chris Bell has been named one of the 13 semifinalists for the Blinkenkoff Award. So
he's good.
shocker, he's good.
Can we
No
have a
one is
bad
doubting he's
conversation?
good.
Can we have a bad conversation? How many yards would he have if he was at Texas right now?
I don't want to have that conversation. I don't think any. I don't think it would be a big adjustment. They've had quarterback struggles. Arch
He's looking
hasn't done
better.
anything to impress.
Arch is looking better.
He's looking. When you start worse than Miller Moss, um, like I don't know. I think that's just a more loaded room too. I don't
It,
think
it
he
is
would
a good
stand
room.
out as much.
It is a very good room. With Westco and Moore, it's a
Yeah,
good room.
yeah.
All
More.
right. So you're taking SMU, you're taking the ponies.
If Miller Moss starts out there, yeah, I got to.
Okay. All right.
You got the old saying that if you do the same thing and expect a different result, that's true insanity. So
Yeah.
if you do the same thing and expect a different result,
Yeah. All right. Well, CC, it's fun. It's always fun doing shows with you. Running it back, the OG.
well,
And it's
yeah,
all. Oh,
office build. Okay,
oh,
we'll actually have the
okay.
office
Dude, I'm
a little bit more
excited. I
video
get I
instead
get
of.
my own I get my own office here in a few weeks. I'm so excited.
I'm excited to have you back stateside.
I know. I'm thinking about doing it, by the way. We were talking about it off camera, not putting any Louisville stuff up, but I'm gonna have like an Alabama helmet just to throw everyone off. Dude,
That's nasty.
I don't know if you ever read the
I'll get an
comments.
Auburn.
I don't know if you ever read the comments on our videos. There's so many people that think I'm just an Alabama homer. And I'm like, you're not wrong. Like, kind of. Like,
I'm a
but as always, the viewers, thank you guys so much for watching. If you've been watching this long, give us a subscribe. Obviously, you like something that we're doing. Not a super fun conversation today, a little bit longer, so apologize, but thank you so much for your patronage. Please like, share, subscribe, all that great stuff. If you have someone in your life that really likes Louisville football and you're like, hey man, you should watch this, text it on over to them, send it to them. Little programming side note, though, with All Around the South coverage and with our CFP show coverage, we are going to get a little bit more sporadic on that going forward a little bit, just because me and James are going through like some weird scheduling things right now. He's somewhere in South America. I'm somewhere in the Middle East. This is an international podcast, so
about Louisville football.
yeah, about Louisville football, international about Louisville football, man, every week. But be on the lookout. We will continue our Louisville coverage on a weekly basis. Maybe some basketball coverage here soon. You never know what's going to happen with that. And then we have all of our great portal content right on the horizon. It's
That's
close.
the fun
It's the best time of the
conversations.
year. It's the best time of the year. It's when everyone's optimistic.
That's the only thing that cheer me up after this season.
But always, guys, thank you all so much. We will catch you all next time, and go Cards.
Go Cards.